Hi guys, so today I'm just doing my first video recording here in this YouTube channel. The idea is to use this channel for, bringing out information, stuff that I find interesting, and all the stuff that probably will come up as I develop it. This is my first from the standpoint of trying to develop a channel for money making purposes. So the idea of this will be at some point to monetize this channel and do things that generate an income. But the first thing I am trying to do right now is to see if it's possible for me. It is like a challenge that I made myself to record a video for 1 hour. I have no plan. I have no what it's going to be presented in this video. I have different ideas and I'll just go with the flow. And one of the first things I want to show you is that I have a visitor here. It's not all the time here, so I'm just gonna go grab her. And this is my little cat. And some people say that she's a little killer. If you know what I mean, I don't know. Look there, killer. Most people immediately go like, oh, look, she looks like the Führer. No. Anyway, I think she's really nice. See, this is one thing I normally do. I don't like to have cats on beds, for instance. So it's a kind of a weird relationship because I'm letting her do a lot of stuff. She can stay in the bedroom as much as she wants, but she's not allowed to go on the bed. I don't know, what about you guys? I for a long time I considered myself just a dog person, but since I met my girlfriend and my now wife, she already had her, and somehow she earned her position, a place in my heart, in my life. However, she's not allowed to get on the bed with me, so I'll put her down and we'll see how we can go ahead and continue with this. So let me ask you a question, guys. Are you a cat person? Are you a dog person? If you're a dog person, to what level? How do you see a dog? Do you see a dog as a member of the family, or you see a dog? Obviously, this second question will be included in the first one because some people see dogs almost as the kids, which obviously would be part of the family. But in my particular case, I see a dog as a part of the family with their position, a particular position as a pet, not as a kid or something like that. So if I had a dog, I don't have a dog here in Germany where I live because, if number one, in Germany you have to pay taxes to have a dog, and then there's the mentality, and I don't know, my 2 dogs that I had was when I used to live in Honduras, and over there I had my life, my dog has had its life. I did my own stuff and the dog did its own stuff, and we got together at some point and had fun together, and then it was his way and I was on my way. Basically what I'm trying to say here is that the dog didn't rule my life, and I did not, to be quite honest, rule my dog's life. He was free to do whatever I want. We live in a little town, so he could actually go out. He would go to the beach. I live like 5 minutes from the beach, so he could go to the beach anytime he wanted, and he just did it and came back whenever he wanted. And sometimes he was in heat or following a dog that was in heat, a female dog, and he would just disappear for a week or something, and then at some point he'd come back with a couple of wounds that they got healed and treated and healed, and then we'll go together to the beach and have fun with a group of kids, and so it was, I don't know if you know that movie Little Rascals. Let me see if I can find it online, because I think that way. Let me see, Little Rascals dog. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me try It's transforming that's the one I'm talking about. See, Little Rascals, the movie. They had a dog. The dog was with them. The dog actually bit the pup. Was it? Yeah, Little Rascals, everything. And this dog, you know, the way it was, you know, this is actually more like a series, right? Was it? It's like the was beats the dog with the wrong side. No, but what I'm saying is, I think there was a movie also, a more recent movie, because seems to be very, very old. What I'm saying though is that there was not a set behavior, you know, like today, at least here in Germany, if you have a dog, most likely you will end up with a dog in a house or in an apartment, you know, in a flat, and you are kind of under the obligation to every single day, rain, snow, thunderstorm or whatever, to take that dog out for a walk. I couldn't do that. That's too regimented for me. I would be like, you know, today you want to go out, go, you know, go outside. Obviously, I do understand that living in like an apartment, it's the animal has to go out and do his business, right? So I do understand that. But from that to make the dog's life more important, and this is what I see with other people, you know, that the dog's life is more important and regiments the person's life. So it's like I have, you know, friends and even co-workers where they are like, you know, you invite them to for something and they go like, whoa, I can't today. Why? Because the dog. What's with the dog? So basically what I see is that the dog is guiding and controlling and regimenting the life of the person. Don't want that. So based on that, I came to the situation where I actually, you know, think that it's easier to have a cat, because in the case of anywhere, number one, you don't pay taxes to have a cat in Germany. You just have the cat. You obviously have to make sure it's vaccinated, or sometimes they chip them. That's all right. And you do have to pay for stuff like, you know, veterinary and stuff like that. But the same thing with the dog. But when you get a cat, you go from the premise, you go from the understanding that you will have your life and the cat will have its life. And it's not going to be the same life. Each one of you will be doing their own thing. And you expect that with a cat. Nobody thinks, oh, I have to walk my cat every single day, no matter rain, you know, thunder, storms or snow, or, you know, too hot or anything. If you don't feel like going out as a human, you just don't go out. But if you have a dog, if you don't feel like going out as a human, you still are expected to go out and take the animal for a walk as she wants to get out. So I'll open the door for her to, you know, like it and have her own life. She's gone. So this is one of the things that I wanted, you know, they just came up. I just wanted to mention it for a couple of seconds. If you think about that, so the original question was, are you a dog person? Are you a cat person? And more interestingly, what kind of a dog person are you? Like I said, is it a member of the family or is it like your kid? And what kind of a cat person are you? I mean, most people that like cats tend to be like, yeah, understand the fact that cats have their own life and they care for the animal, they cuddle the animals and stuff like that. But it's more like, you know, you're there, I'm here type of relationship. And sometimes I would like to have that with a dog. And actually I did. I had 2 dogs. I had one dog, like, you know, as I mentioned, as a kid in a beautiful town of Trujillo in Honduras, which I will show in a couple of minutes. And the other dog was a pit bull. And I got the pit bull when my son was 3 years old. and everybody was like, whoa, whoa, what are you doing? That's crazy. But pit bulls are not animals that by definition or by nature are killers, although that's the picture that have been portrayed to most of the world, in the last few years. It is a killer animal, was designed to kill. But the question is, was it really? Because if you think about pit bulls, and if you examine the history of the American Terrier pit bull, I think that's the name, it was designed, it was bred as a fighting dog, for fighting competitions, for fighting in the pit, in the dog pit. That's where the name pit bull comes from. And the idea was, and this is something I when I discovered it, I went like, this is very interesting, because back then, I don't know how I see it now, because I don't follow dog fights and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking, okay, animals should not be used for fighting, just for fun. They will fight in their natural world, in a natural environment when they are free, but you should not encourage that. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So, however, when they were originally bred about 100 or 100 something years ago, they used to have dog fights, but they were regulated. There used to be a judge, a person with a special wooden device, because sometimes during the fights one dog will bite the other one, and it was like, they were like stuck like that. And no, the jaws don't lock, they're just really strong. So when that happened, the judge, a person that was not the owner of the dog, of this dog, and it was not the owner of the other dog, somebody who was like, a third person or a third party. So this person had to go with this, wooden device that was like pointy, and it would get like thicker the further you got, right? So he had to put that inside the mouth of the biting dog and press it in so that the mouth would open a little bit, and he could just pull it from the other dog. If during that process of separating fighting dogs, the judge or the referee or whatever you want to call it got bitten, got attacked, that dog was immediately disqualified. So pit bulls were bred to be able to be in that situation without attacking the judge or the referee. So are they human enemies? No. They were designed, and the one I had was exactly like that. They were designed to fight other dogs, and the one I had, he just didn't like other dogs, no matter which ones. He just simply did not like them. To him, it was like, okay, dog, okay, get the hell out of here, or we'll have a fight. But humans were like, oh man, like you see on this picture here. Right? It was, my kid was about that age, and we had a pit bull, and it was no problem. It was his best friend. He just like, they had fun. And if I'm not wrong, this dog, from Little Rascals, if I'm not wrong, he also was some kind of a pit bull, because pit bulls were seen back then as, it's here it is. I'll make that a little bit bigger. The pooch who originated the role of Pete the pup in the Little Rascals was a pit bull. And I'll repeat it a third time. It was a pit bull who was used to film and play and stay and interact with tiny little kids. So if you go from there, you can see how the things have changed with time, and especially in as time passes, and owners of these animals simply don't train them the way they are trained. If you see that dog, it didn't have cut ears, it didn't have cut tail. It was an animal that was in his natural state. So why today, if you think of a pit bull, it have cut ears, especially in Latin America where I grew up, cut ears, cut tail, because that way they look like mean, and that's what the people want to achieve. Let me see if I can get a couple pictures of how, what I mean. Yeah. The mean look of the pit bull. American Pit Bull Terrier, that's the name. So let me show you here. These are different pictures of pit bulls, and this is the what I had. Exactly, it looks just like that, See how beautiful the little animal is, and look at the muscles. And when I see this picture, I go like, okay, I don't need to go and train like a bodybuilder. But you see here, what happens to the ears? Cut. Why do they have to cut the ears? Why do they have to do stuff like that, just to make them look, mean? These are very nice and beautiful and loving animals, and yet, with this cutting of ears and stuff like that, well, just to make them look bad. Look at how beautiful this animal looks. Why does it have to look like this? This is not natural. This is, I will not say something like, what they do with it's some kind of mutilation. Let's put it like that. It's a kind of mutilation just for the purposes of human beings having an animal that presents a particular image, an image of mean, of bad, of badass. But they don't need that to be shown or to depict a strong animal. Pit bulls are strong animals, and they don't need mutilation or anything like that to show that. So I think I'm digressing here a very, very long way away from my original question. What kind of person are you? Dog person or a cat person? And if you're a dog person, are you like the dog is my kid, or is it the dog is just a member of a family that has its place and it should stay at its place? And the same thing with the cat, so that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. The other thing, well, I've just mentioning different things. I've already 17 minutes I've been recording. The idea is to make 1 hour recording without stop, because I'm doing this video just to test myself and see how I can just improvise in front of the camera and just talk about whatever I feel like talking. So one of the things I'm doing this, as I mentioned at the beginning, this video, this YouTube channel, is to see if I can monetize. I'm thinking about monetizing. There are many options and many different things that you can do to monetize a YouTube channel. I've heard, like using AdSense. AdSense is one of the ways of doing this, to generate an income once you have a channel, obviously, that has some movement. And how can you generate enough views and comments and likes in order to be able to make an acceptable amount of money through monetizing a channel? And I think one of the main things is that Google wants to have is basically that you show ads to other people. But one of the big differences is that when you're creating a channel because you want to be as a person popular in YouTube, you want to be recognized as a YouTuber with all the accolades that brings in today's world, which has changed a lot. Or you want a channel that actually just generates an income independently of you're on camera or not. So I'm more interested in the second version. Being a YouTuber would be interesting because I have a lot to say. I think, I'm at this point, in the second half of my life, and I think I've lived through things where I could, help people, make decisions and have goals, have ideas, and live their life in a particular way that they can actually benefit, or at least, aim at being better, aim at having goals, aim at improving themselves, aim at not just being, just going through life with the flow, but actually having a destination and, taking massive action in order to get to that destination. And based on that, I think it would be interesting to, have a channel that, attracted people. But in order to start, I don't think that's at least in my opinion, I don't have the time. I have to work every day and stuff like that, so I don't have the time to actually sit down and do a video like that every single day, and then doing all the editing and all the different things that are related to that. Of course, if I'm doing a video like this, there's not much editing. I just put it up and see, what is available, what you can achieve with it. So, but thinking about all the different things that you can do and would be able to do to generate an income, there are at least, I would say, two main things that you can use to generate an income. One of them requires, creating a channel that, well, provided, let's go from that standpoint, provided you have a channel that already has enough views and engagement. There are two ways you can monetize that channel. You can generate an income with that channel. One of them, as I said, would be AdSense. And the best way that I've heard is that, once you have that, you make sure to do videos that are over 10 minutes, and then because only if you have a video over 10 minutes, you can add as many or a lot of ads inside that video. If you have a video that's less than 10 minutes, it will basically have the ads placed automatically by YouTube on them. So number one, you want to have more than 10 minutes, and you have to activate or make sure that, how you say that? Oh, that word disappeared from my head. But basically, you have to confirm that you are using a telephone, and you send YouTube will send a message to your telephone, and then you'll be basically activating it that way, and then you'll be able to do long videos. And one of them, that your goal will be to make videos that are over 10 minutes, to be able to place ads every minute or every 2 minutes, so that you have more ads. And the more ads you have, the more chances people click on those ads, and the more chance then you generate an income through AdSense. And that's the difference of what all people do. So the other option would be to use internet marketing. That's actually what I want to say. I want to say affiliate marketing. And how do you do affiliate marketing? I know of 3 different websites where you can do affiliate marketing, and let me show them to you. One of them will be JBZoo, right? This is it has a marketplace. It's more directed to people who do online or internet marketing. You have a marketplace, and you have a bunch of products that if you get accepted to promote, you can get a very, very good commissions for these products. Let me see if I can see any one of them. This different type of product. Let me see. This one, for instance, costs $29. If you are accepted and you sell that product for $29, and you get like 50%, you get like $15, as a provision for you for each one of the ones that you sell. And you could do that by using your YouTube channel and putting the link that you would get from JBZoo as an affiliate, to do stuff like that. The other channel, or the other website, will be Warrior Plus. They also have an option to allow you to learn more. If you profit, you sell, and then you have commissions. You can see here people having commissions, sales, and how much they get, and the amount of sales they have made, and so forth. So using that way, you can definitely, as an affiliate, as you can see here, you can simply offer them on your YouTube channel and get a commission. You got limitless sales funnels and stuff like that. So the people who are creating the sales, who are creating the products, will be allowed, or will be able to create funnels that will, squeeze as much money from this buyer, and then you're getting a commission on it. And normally the commission is about 50% or more. So it's not like in Amazon. Amazon is another one where you can do something similar, but the commissions are really, really small in comparison. The only thing with these two websites, JBZoo and Warrior Plus, is that in order to be able to promote these products, any product here, you first have to approach the seller, the creator of the product, the vendor, and ask them for permission to promote, and they have to approve you. That could sometimes be not that easy to achieve. You have to have good, especially at the beginning when you're not known at all. You have to have very, very good way of presenting yourself to them while you ask for that permission to become an affiliate of their product. And why is that? Because anybody would think, yeah, well, the more people they have selling their products, the more money they will make. The problem is that some people actually send a bot traffic. I don't know if you know what bot traffic is. Bot traffic is like robots, computers that actually go into the different sites, and because it's based on clicks, they go like, whoa, it sent me like 100 clicks, but they were not people. They were not a person. And then it's just inflated numbers in amount of visitors and clicks, but obviously because they are machines, they are computers, you won't get sales. And that would mean that you have a huge number of visitors and clicks and a very small number of sales, and then the percentages will look really bad for that product because nobody wants to buy that product. And that would tell me that that product is bad when I just look at the statistics. However, if the people, the affiliates that were sending traffic were sending bot traffic, that's not true. The product could be actually good, but they were getting too many bots visiting their sites, and that's why there are not sales. So that's one of the reasons these people worry about, okay, I don't want to have just anybody to come and promote my product. I want to know a little bit more about that person and know a little bit more about how are they going to promote that product. That is something I've been trying to do for a while. In fact, I have a website. This is where I do reviews of products, and I send people to, you see here, that's me, and I send people to the website, and you can see if you go here, you're coming to a website, and if I try to go, hold on, let me see if I try to buy right now. If I were trying to buy, see, I'm going to JVZoo, right? So it goes through JVZoo. So, but there's a third marketplace, and this third marketplace is normally the one that people start with, because this does not require you to apply mostly. I mean, it can be sometimes, but mostly it does not require you to apply to actually promote a product. You can just go ahead and start promoting it, and if you make sales, just start getting commissions. And that is a website called ClickBank. And here is a marketplace. You have, as you can see here, the best affiliate programs, and the marketplace has a lot of interesting products. If you go here, you have in almost every area you have products. You have the prices, and you have the percentage that you get from the sale average. On average, they have on almost, you can see here, there's so many different areas in which these products are created and sold, and you can just come and pick up a product here, start promoting it, and if you sell, then you get a commission. So, as I said, these are ways that you can use your YouTube views to monetize a YouTube channel, right? You can, number one, and let me repeat, number one, you can send them to, you can present ads from Google, AdSense, and get monetized like that. Or you can either in the video or in the description of the video have links to these products where you have either been approved by JVZoo or Warrior Plus vendors, or you use ClickBank. You just find a product that you want to promote and you promote it, and then you make a sale, you make a commission. So, or you can do both things at the same time. You can show ads from AdSense and have the promotional links in your description, and have double wham, have two options to generate an income through YouTube. So that's something that caught my attention and I'm interested in doing. So yeah, this is something I want to achieve. So going back to how do I now this is a completely different subject that I want to mention and talk about, because one of the things that new people get interested in when they're trying to start, doing YouTube is, okay, there are two different ways. Number one, how do I do video? All right, I'm going to close this here. How do I, create these videos? Like right now, I'm doing video. I'm copying these videos. I'm copying these videos, and I'm showing you my screen, and I'm recording myself. I'm using a webcam. I'm using a Logitech webcam. Let me see the model number. Sorry about that. That was not my intention. It's a little bit dark there. I have the light on my face, so to see that I'm using I don't mean to see the model, but it's one of them. I think it's 920 C920 Logitech webcam, which is supposed to be one of the good ones. But if you're like planning on doing something like this, you want to be able to not just record yourself, but you also want to be able to record your screen. What can you use? There are many things you can use. There are many programs, and I have a few ones that I really like. And the one I use for the recording is called OBS Studio. So let me show you for a couple of seconds how it looks like. I'll bring the screen here. You see, here you see it a million times me here because you're seeing the screen here right now. But this is the program. I'm actually going to remove myself from there. So this is the program, and you can see that as I'm talking, it's the microphone, and this program allows me to record my screen, or depending on how many I have two monitors. So basically I'm recording one monitor, and I normally have this program on the other monitor. This program, you can just download it and use it. It's free, costs absolutely nothing. You can download it from here. I'll show you. Hold on a second. OBS Studio, OBS project. Yeah, it's called OBS Studio. And you just download it, install it. A lot of people will say that it's a very complicated program to utilize and to start doing stuff with, but in my experience, it's not that bad. I mean, you just install it, and once you do it, there is a little wizard. You just follow the wizard, and if you don't change much stuff, it's going to basically work. And if it doesn't, you have a forum where you can ask questions. There are guides, there are plugins, there are themes, there are tools, there are scripts, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of people use that. And if even that doesn't help you, you can go to YouTube and just look OBS Studio, and there is a lot of stuff about how to use OBS Studio, and it costs nothing. So let's say you recorded something, and you have the program recorded and everything is ready to go, and you want to basically go ahead and use, edit that video. You want to, put some effects, put some text. A lot of it you can actually do directly in OBS, and this guy, Nick Niemann, he shows you a lot of stuff related to how to do stuff like that. However, like graphics, the lower third and stuff like that. But if you want more, you can edit. You can actually go ahead and edit your studio or your scenes. Hold on a second here. You can edit your videos, but you don't want to do it, in a way that you have to spend a lot of money. So are there ways to do that? Of course, there are many ways to do that. In fact, let me show you 3. The first one would be, I think, hold on a second, the name is just Hitfilm. Yeah, Hitfilm Pro, or a Hitfilm Express. me see. F5. Sorry. This is from the website FX Home. If I go back there, see this program, Hitfilm Express, costs nothing. You can download it. It's a professional program. It has almost everything, and you know, fully loaded, forever free. Costs nothing. Obviously, your machine has to be capable of dealing with the program, but if you're going to do, like, you know, video editing, you should have a machine, a computer that can handle that, because you do require a lot of processing power, and you require also a lot of hard drive space. So those two things are given because your video files are going to be big. And with this program, you have, you know, you have a lot of stuff. Look, everything you have completely free. There's another one. It's called Davinci something. Davinci Resolve. Exactly. Davinci Resolve. So it's another program. You can also download it. It's also free. It costs absolutely nothing, and does a lot of stuff. You can do. Obviously, you would have to learn these programs, because they are not like I said, they are professional programs. They're not like your, you know, free program that costs nothing. You know, like there is one program called you know, like what comes with Windows, like Movie Maker or something like that. You cannot do much with these programs, you know, with Movie Maker, but with Davinci Resolve and Hitfilm Express, you can do a lot. You can do special effects. In fact, I use Hitfilm Express, and the amount of things you can do. Look, you can do special effects like rays and guns and, you know, these things, and they have actually tutorials where they show you how to do all of that. Obviously, in my particular case, I mostly do videos like what you're watching here, which is just a screen cast. I'm just recording my screen and I'm presenting it to you, and I just use it sometimes to do some transitions, or to put some text at the beginning or text at the end, or create an intro or an outro and stuff like that. But if you're actually into cinematography, or you want to get into cinematography, there are many tutorials in these pages that show you how to do different things. Let me just, for a couple of seconds, start the Hitfilm Express program here on my computer. So you see, normally on the main screen, you'll have things that are, you know, up to date, you know, recent stuff, recent tutorials and stuff like that. So hold on a second. It takes a couple of seconds to start, because, as I said, it's a complete package. Right? It has a lot of stuff. Yep. So, how to color gradients and curves. An idea. How to get started with visual effects. New master classes in YouTube. It starts with everything. Or how to create the hubs and show title like this. You know, like from the movie. You can learn how to do that with this program for free. How to, oh, that's interesting. I have version 12, version 13 is already out. So it's good for me to know that. Good that I got here. And the interesting thing with this program is, like, okay, you find that you find yourself always desiring, okay, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. You don't have to buy the whole package, which would be like $500 or something like that. You can buy just specific plugins or sections of the program, and that's what you see here. And you can have the color starter, you can have visual effects, just distortion, you can have edit repair, or you can have edit beautify, and so on and so forth, various 3D objects. And you buy just that, and you use that, you know, until you need to either buy the whole program, if you're doing this for business and then you're generating an income with it, then you basically go on like, okay, this is something I need, so you pay for it. But after you already have generated some income, you know, from videos that you created with this program. But the same thing with the other one, as I was saying, you know, like Davinci Resolve. And there is a third one, and the name of it is, it's you very seldom see it mentioned anywhere. And I think it's a good program. It's Activepresenter. It's also a free program, an e-learning authoring software. So it'll allow you to do some stuff like, you know, software demos and stuff like that with specific, for instance, if you're trying to make your mouse be visible in a particular way, or you want to have like the click sound in a particular way, all that type of things. It's more oriented to e-learning, you know, e-teaching stuff, you know, the teaching, utilizing your computer like for Teachable or creating courses and stuff like that, doing software simulations, having quizzes, software guides and stuff like that. This program is free if you're going to create videos that you're not going to sell. So basically, if you are doing it for a non-profit purposes, like, you know, let's say you have a YouTube channel, obviously you're not selling your YouTube videos, you're just putting them out there for, you know, for free for people to watch them. It's different if you have like a course that you're creating where you're selling the course / you're selling the videos in the course. So they have a completely free version that includes the option to do exactly what I'm doing here. You know, I'm recording the webcam, and I'm putting the webcam on top of the videos. It's what you can see here. Now I have here the webcam, and then I have the screen, the background, you know, my computer screen, and that's being recorded. And that is something that you can do with this program. It's also something that you just have to download, you know, Activepresenter, download, install it, and you have an option to do stuff like that. So there are 3, and this one has also a video editor in it, right? So you have 3 video editors that allow you to do basically whatever you want with video editing, and sometimes even more than that, as long as you're willing to learn how to use the programs. And you have, those I said, 3 video editors, right? So Davinci Resolve, Activepresenter, and Hitfilm Express, completely free. Much better than almost anything else out there that's free in this, you know, for this type of purposes. And you have 2 screen recorders that are also free. You know, one would be Activepresenter, and the other one is OBS Studio, which is the one I'm using in this particular case. So what can we say? You have an option to start your YouTube channel. Of course you do. So if you're like me and you do want to start doing stuff like this, then there is an option to do a lot with this. So we basically tackled 2 completely different subjects. First, we talked about animals, and second, we talked about we talked about technological stuff related to creating a YouTube channel and how we can monetize it. Oh, we also talked about how can you monetize a YouTube channel. So there's a lot of, you know, interesting subjects in my opinion. Obviously, I'm the one creating this, so I will say that it is interesting. But I now want to talk about something a little bit more personal, and it is the fact that no matter what you want to do in the internet marketing world, or in your life, or in any other, you know, option where you want to generate a bigger income, or simply just have more success in your life, you have to do something called freeing your mind. That means you need to control your mind. And one of the problems with this thing about controlling your mind is, let me see, I'm trying to find something here. One of the problems about controlling your mind is the fact that you have to not just be, you know, you have to be the owner, the master of your own mental domain. You know, I don't know if you are old enough to have watched Seinfeld, or if you even know what Seinfeld is. It was a sitcom in the, I think it was in the 90s, or was it in the 80s? I don't know. Back then, I'm old. But in this sitcom called Seinfeld, there was one episode about being the master of your domain. Obviously, it was related to sexual, you know, relations, you know, or actually it was masturbation or something like that. So they were talking about self-control. If they could control themselves and not do that, they'll be the master of their domain, and in the end, all of them, like, couldn't control themselves. But what I am talking about here is being able to set goals and do things to achieve those goals, no matter what. Because if you think about it in life, you have to set goals. You have to think about the future and see what's going to happen. And sometimes we start life at a disadvantage, and that not necessarily may mean that you are poor, or don't have enough money, or don't live in the right neighborhood, or don't live in the right country. That could be a problem, not living in the right country. If you think about it, people that were born and raised in countries like Honduras, El Salvador, Afghanistan, Syria, and I don't know, North Korea, even worse, you could say, okay, you started with a huge disadvantage, because from the get-go you're starting at minus 1,000. You have to get, in order to get to start to zero, you have to make a big effort, and most people just give up. And it's easy to give up, especially in circumstances like that, and especially if you don't know anything better. I remember once, years ago, about 20 years, no, about 18 years, I had a job where I had to travel a lot, and I was in Cuba, and my job took me to Cuba. I had to go to a part of Cuba called Santa Lucia Beach, or La Playa de Santa Lucia, or something like that. I do speak Spanish also. And I was picked up at the airport by this young fella, I don't know, about late 20s, maybe beginning, early 30s or something like that. And we had to drive for 6 hours, and you probably go like, whoa, 6 hours in Cuba, in 6 hours you cross the whole island. But no, you remember, it's not like super autobahns on the island of Cuba, so the cars don't drive as fast, at least not back then. So either way, I was sitting with this guy, just the two of us, for 6 hours, and we got to talking, and I found very interesting, he was driving a Toyota Hilux, nice car. One would think they don't have those cars in Cuba, but they do. Obviously they belong to the government, but people basically drive them every single day because the job is with the government. So they do see the things that they could have if they were under different circumstances. Obviously, from 18 years ago to now, a lot of things have changed there. But among them, that Fidel Castro passed away. But back then, the guy was like, yeah, I would get out of here in the first opportunity that I got. And I was wondering, why do these people want to get out? And because they had been living already under those circumstances for, I don't know, 40 years already back then. And so basically he didn't know anything else. The only thing, he was born in that regime, and that's the only thing that he knew. And even though he is not free, or he was not free to leave the country, but he basically could do almost, not everything, but almost anything inside the country that normal people do on a day-to-day basis. Go to work, get an education, a good education, by the way, and stuff like that. But what was the problem? I discovered, because during the trip we stopped at a petrol station or a gas station, and I was like completely surprised, utterly surprised, because he went to put petrol or gas, and I went into the little tiny store, and they did have a tiny store, not a lot of stuff in it, but they have a tiny store. It was like a bistro or restaurant, like a small snack bar or something where you could get something to eat for the trip. And And this is the thing that shocked me. In the corner, hanging there was on big TV. And what was being shown? HBO. And I was like, what? They're showing HBO 20 years ago or 18 years ago in a gas station in the, away from Havana, in Cuba, somewhere in the middle of the road in Cuba. So people could come there. They didn't have any money. They didn't have the opportunity to get any job they wanted, where, from the standpoint of the capitalism world, where you can, demand your salary and negotiate your salary and have a good salary. No, they only had what they were given, but at the same time, they were being shown how people in other places like the United States live or lived. I always have problems with, how long a vowel should be, how people in the United States live. So they were like, oh, they can do that. They can actually have as much money as they want if they work, or if they have a good idea and implement a business or something like that. And we can't. So they learned what they didn't have. They discovered what was possible if they were not in the island. They discovered that remaining in that island, they were just, truncating their potential. And obviously, when you are under those circumstances, when you suddenly discover something that you didn't know before that it exists, then you go like, oh shit, I could have that, and I can't because of these stupid circumstances here. So this guy was like, okay, I need to get the hell out of here. I need to leave this, I need to leave this country. Any chance I have, I will just get out of here. And that happens with a lot of people in different circumstances, and that's why you have to have the right mindset. But this is one of the things I wanted to mention to you. You have that limitation, which is basically a physical, financial one. But you can relatively, well, I wouldn't say easy, but you can overcome those circumstances, monetary, or I know a lot of people who left Cuba because they married somebody who from a different country. There's a lot of tourists in Cuba, so they found a way of doing it, and they got out. So it's possible, but the hardest part to overcome, the hardest hurdle that you need to overcome, even if you're born as a rich person, is mindset, is freeing your mind. That's why I always say that you need to brainwash yourself, because I was for like 40 years a member of, I call it a cult. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and I was in this religion for all this time, and I believe certain things that when I look back and I think, wow, did I believe that? That can't be possible. I even remember when I was like, I don't know, 23 or something, I had a conversation, a discussion with some lady at my first place of work, telling her, hey, I'm not gonna get old ever. And she looked at me and she went like, what? Yeah, and I said, I'm not gonna get old ever. I'm either gonna stay young because the new world order will come, and that's how they call it, the new world or the new order. They have used those two different words, basically paradise. And if that happens and I survive, I'll stay young, and I will even, what's the word? Rejuvenate. If I'm like getting too old, like 40, I'll rejuvenate, go back to 30 or something like that, and stay there forever. Or if I don't go through it, because it's gonna happen before the 2000s, that's what we believed, I'm gonna die. So I didn't go through, I get destroyed, and still didn't get old. So I had this conversation, and I was so pretty sure that that was reality. And that is the problem with brainwashing. You believe certain things that are definitely not true. There's so much proof that it's not true. Everybody gets old. Look at me. I'm getting old. I'm all white hair now. Well, not all, but it's getting worse as time passes. So basically what I'm saying is, because somebody put a program implemented or planted a program in your head, in your mind, and you believe that program, then you believe certain things that will not allow you to do certain other things. Like, if you have a plan, like if you believe honestly to the bottom of your heart that money is the root of all evil, then even if you understand intellectually that you need money to improve your life, you will at some point in your subconscious sabotage anything you do in order to get more money, because in your subconscious you're believing, you're certain that money is the root of all evil, and you do not want to become or be evil. Does that make sense? So you have to become aware of these ideas. You have to become aware of these ways of thinking, these beliefs that you have implemented and planted in your mind, in order to be able to pinpoint which these beliefs are, and just find a way by, and this is what I use this expression, by brainwashing yourself, positively speaking, in order to get rid of those beliefs or replace those beliefs with beliefs that are going, that are prone to bring you to a positive outcome in your life. Sorry. So it is something that does require, working on yourself, does require some self-development, either if it's, watching videos, positive videos and motivational videos, and journaling, writing down where your goals and dreams and the desires are, and writing or identifying, the blockades that are there that do not let you advance in your life for whatever reason, what beliefs you have that work against you instead of working for you and trying to help you, be a better person, have a better job, have a better family, be more happy. And there's so many different things, and the main thing is you have to believe that your mindset is not set in stone. See, a lot of people tend to say like, well, and this is the way I've always been, this is the way I've always gonna be, there's nothing that's gonna change in my life, this is me and nothing's gonna change that. And that's why I have no other option. This is what I have to do. There's no way around it. And well, if you think like that, there's no other option. This is what you're gonna get, right? So you have to somehow switch and change that mentality in order to be able to benefit and improve your life, because that's the only way that you can go forward. I mean, you can, if you like born in a third world country, you can do what the Hondurans are doing. They are like leaving the country in droves. But if you stay in the country, you can still do stuff to improve yourself. But all those things start in one point inside your head. If you don't believe that something is possible, you won't even try it. But if you are pretty 100% or 1000% sure that something is possible and that you can do it, or you will not only try, you will try and try again and do it again and find another way and find another way until it becomes a reality, because our beliefs shape our reality. And I agree, I believe that 100%, because it has been my case. Before, I believed certain things and that was my reality, and then I changed those beliefs and I live today in a complete different reality. It's completely different to anything I've had expected, and I'm working on better beliefs in order to even have a better reality happen to me, because that's the only way, if you think about it, to achieve stuff in life. So that's basically my idea when I was creating this video. Talk about all these different things, think about them. You can do things with your life. And my idea was to create a video that even though it's 1 hour just talking about stuff. And I actually honestly didn't believe I could manage to do that. I have done it, because right now it's 1 hour basically of me sitting here talking about stuff. And my point was that I didn't just want to talk about stuff that doesn't make any sense, just like, let the camera run or something like that. I actually wanted to say stuff about how I think, about things I've seen, about goals, about money, about, well, I did talk a little bit about animals, but I try to give it a good spin. So I think this is it. I hope you really enjoyed. If you managed to watch all this, I don't know if it is possible for somebody to do it, but if you did, then subscribe, give me a like, because more of this is coming. I hope you had fun. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.